To protect her first-loved son, my wife pushed my 5-year-old daughter out to be exchanged as a hostage with a murderer. In the end, her precious son was saved, but my daughter's throat was slit by the killer. The media lauded my wife Clara, portraying her as a great kindergarten teacher who would sacrifice her own daughter to protect a student. But when I went to her holding my daughter's urn, her eyes filled with disgust, telling me to stop being so dramatic. The day my daughter Mia died was her 5th birthday. I had just returned from out of town when I learned that a serial killer had broken into the kindergarten where Mia attended and Clara worked. By the time I saw the news report, Mia had already been rushed to the ICU, her life hanging by a thread. A nurse spoke gravely. "Mr. Bennett, your daughter's throat was cut by the killer. The injury is too severe, and treatment wasn't administered quickly enough. There's nothing more the doctors or we can do." Her voice heavy, she added, "Are there any other relatives? You should call them to come see her one last time." Hearing her words felt like a lightning strike. How could this happen? Just 2 days ago, Mia was on the phone sweetly asking me to bring back a big mermaid cake and a doll for her birthday, wanting to celebrate with me and Clara. How could she be dying now? I dropped to my knees before the nurse, my hands shaking uncontrollably. "Impossible, nurse, please, I'm begging you. Talk to the doctor. Ask him to save my daughter. Let me die instead. Please save my Mia. My daughter is only 5. How can she die? I can't lose her." Although Clara was a kindergarten teacher, she was often impatient with our daughter. Mia, who adored me, was the apple of my eye. "Mr. Bennett, please calm down. Your daughter's injuries are too severe. We truly can't do anything. It would be better for you to spend these last moments with her so she doesn't leave alone." By the end, even the nurse's eyes were red, her voice choked with emotion. My heart ached unbearably, but not wanting Mia to worry, I quickly wiped away my tears and went to the cold operating table. My 5-year-old daughter lay there, eyes closed, her chubby face pale, her innocent brow tightly furrowed. I thought about how Mia was usually afraid of even getting a shot. How much pain must she have endured when that knife cut her throat? "Mia, Daddy's back. Look, Daddy bought you your favorite Frozen princess doll. Hold on, sweetie, Daddy will take you for cake later." Hearing my voice, Mia slowly opened her eyes. She looked at me, perhaps trying to call me Daddy, but no sound came out. Seeing the fear in her eyes and the tears welling up, I quickly comforted her. "Mia, don't be scared. Your throat is hurt. You can't talk right now. When you get better, you'll be just like before." Mia nodded, her innocent eyes fixed on me, searching for something. I knew she was looking for Clara. I quickly dialed Clara's number, but she kept hanging up. After several tries, Clara finally answered. Before I could speak, her impatient voice came through the phone. "Noah, will you ever stop? Don't you know what happened to Jake? He was held hostage by that damn serial killer, and now he's traumatized. I'm with him at counseling." Clara's words felt incredibly ironic. Our daughter lay dying on an operating table after having her throat slit, and Clara was comforting her unharmed, precious son through some damn counseling session. Outside the operating room, I had already seen the video footage from the kindergarten incident. What I could never have imagined was that after the killer slit Mia's throat and was shot dead, Clara's first instinct wasn't to check on our daughter lying in a pool of blood, but to tightly hug the frightened Jake, comforting him. Because of this, the critically injured Mia didn't receive immediate aid. Only when a nurse noticed her was she carried onto the ambulance, delaying the crucial window for rescue. I glanced at the weakening Mia and stepped outside the operating room to call Clara again. "To hell with the counseling, Clara. Are you even Mia's mother? Mia is in the operating room right now. The doctor says she doesn't have long. He said you should come see her one last time. Clara, our daughter wants to see you. Please come quickly." My voice couldn't help but carry a pleading tone. By the end, I couldn't bear the thought of my daughter dying without seeing her mother. But Clara's voice on the other end grew even more impatient. "Noah, can you stop being so selfish? Always trying to get my attention with things like this. I'm Jake's teacher. He's traumatized. Of course, I need to be with him for counseling right now." With that, Clara hung up. Fearing I'd call again, she turned off her phone. At that moment, my heart turned completely cold. Despairingly, I walked back into the operating room, but as I approached Mia's bed, I forced a relaxed smile onto my face. I held Mia's hand, which was growing colder, and met her innocent gaze. "It's okay, Mia bug. Mommy's caught up with something right now. She can't come back just yet. Little Mia nodded from her bed, but my eyes couldn't help but redden. My daughter was only 5, always so obedient. How could she suffer such a horrific fate? Mia tried to speak. Watching her lip movements, I struggled to understand what she wanted to say. She was asking me, "Daddy, I was scared of the bad man too. Why did Mommy make me go save Jake?" "Daddy, I didn't want to save Jake at all. I want to go home. Daddy, it hurts so much." Seeing what she was saying, I almost broke down completely. I had thought sending Mia to the kindergarten where Clara taught meant she, as her mother, could look after her better. Who knew Clara could be so cruel, willing to sacrifice her own daughter for Ryan's son? Mia's small hand struggled to point towards her pants pocket. I quickly wiped my eyes and took out a bracelet she had woven herself. It had little bells and crystals, the kind little girls love. I watched her struggle to form words with her lips. I understood she wanted to give it to her mother. I felt both heartbroken and furious. At that moment, I truly understood, not every woman deserves to be called a mother. Ryan was Clara's college crush, her heartthrob. She had fawned over him for 6 years without winning him over, finally giving up and marrying me through an arrangement by her parents. I only learned about this after we were married. Normally, Clara's past was none of my business, but a few years ago, Ryan's wife passed away from an illness. Ryan moved back to Denver with his son. The moment Clara saw her college crush again, she immediately latched onto him. She treated Ryan's son, Jake, almost better than her own daughter. She always told Mia and me that Jake was pitiful, having lost his mother young, and that we should take care of him and let him have his way. But now, endless hatred festered inside me. It was one thing for her to shamelessly dote on Ryan and his son, but how dare she harm Mia like this because of Jake? Was Ryan's son's life precious while my daughter's wasn't? "Daddy, I want cake," Mia suddenly rasped out using all her strength. Her face grew even paler. I saw the gauze wrapped around her neck begin to seep blood and panicked. "Mia, wait. Daddy will go get the cake right now." I rushed out of the operating room and grabbed the mermaid cake I had bought for Mia from a chair in the family waiting area. But when I returned to her bedside, Mia's small body lay still on the bed, her face pale, no longer breathing. At that moment, the tears I'd been holding back finally burst forth. "Mia, wake up and look at Daddy. Daddy bought you your favorite mermaid cake. You didn't even have a bite." Looking at Mia's neck, I remembered her saying, "Daddy, it hurts so much." I suddenly felt stunned and murmured, holding Mia's already cold body tightly, "It's good she's asleep. If she's asleep, my Mia won't hurt anymore." At the funeral home, I watched as Mia's body was pushed into the cremator. No matter how many messages I sent Clara telling her our daughter was about to be cremated, they all vanished without a trace. I sat on the cold floor of the funeral home, clutching Mia's ashes, finally filled with immense regret. If I had known Clara could be so heartless towards her own daughter, I never would have married her. Holding Mia's urn, I went to Ryan's house. The door opened, and sure enough, Clara was there. Seeing me, her expression turned sour, as if looking at some kind of burden. She didn't even notice the urn in my hands. "What are you doing here?" "I told you I'll come back once Jake has calmed down." "Huh? Wait for Jake to calm down, Clara. Mia is dead. Do you know that?" I asked through gritted teeth. Mia was only 5. You know how timid she was, how scared of pain. How could you push your own daughter towards a murderer as a hostage? Clara's eyes darted away. Just then, Ryan walked up beside her. "Noah, it's you. Didn't the media say Mia was out of danger now? Besides, don't blame Clara. She was trying to protect Jake. She thought since Mia was a girl, so cute, maybe the killer wouldn't have the heart to hurt her." Ryan's shameless words made my fists clench. I carefully placed Mia's urn down and lunged at Ryan, raining furious punches down on him. Ryan was no match for me. I couldn't accept it. The killer had initially grabbed Jake as a hostage, yet it was my daughter who ended up dead. She was only 5, and she died without even eating the cake she wanted most. "Stop hitting him." Clara desperately tried to pull me off, but couldn't. Suddenly, a sharp pain hit the back of my head. I slowly turned. Seeing she couldn't stop me from hitting Ryan, Clara had grabbed a vase and struck me in her panic. "Noah, if you dare hit Ryan again, I'll call the police." Clara's tone was instinctively defensive. Looking at her face, I suddenly remembered the first time I saw her. She was wearing a white dress passing a piano store, playfully asking if I wanted to hear her play. It was then, watching her through the glass window playing the piano in the sunset, that my heart fluttered. Later, I bought that piano for her. It had always sat in the piano room I specially prepared for her after we married. Clara, Mia is dead. Do you understand? You'd rather believe the gossip media than your husband, Mia's father. What's so good about that pretty boy? He never loved you and his son. Clara, how low can you sink? You have your own daughter, yet you're falling all over yourself to be a mother to his. Clara's eyes showed a flicker of doubt, but then she saw Orion staggering to his feet, and her heart ached for him again. She rushed to his side to support him. Noah, don't talk nonsense. What kind of father are you? Your daughter is fine, yet you're cursing her to die. And I am Jake's teacher. My professional ethics required me to protect my student. Can you stop being so unreasonable? Instead of making a scene, you should go home and take care of Mia. So you do know Mia needs someone to take care of her. I let out a sarcastic laugh, blood still trickling down the back of my head. Clara added, Noah, I hope next time you won't lie about our daughter's death. It makes you seem like an unfit father. I felt like I'd heard the world's biggest joke and couldn't help but laugh, but then tears started streaming down my face. I picked up Mia's urn, whispering gently, Mia, be good. This mommy isn't good at all. Don't wait for her anymore. Clara's eyes were full of mockery. Noah, you're so dramatic. I ignored Clara and carried Mia's urn away. When I held Mia's funeral, I didn't inform Clara. I figured she wouldn't come anyway. She had her precious Ryan and Jake. But halfway through the service, Clara arrived, her eyes blazing with anger. What kind of father are you? Isn't our daughter still in the hospital? You're holding a fake funeral for our daughter just to get my attention. Noah, you really are insane. The surrounding people looked at Clara in disbelief. I couldn't hold back anymore. I dragged Clara to Mia's gravestone and threw Mia's death certificate in her face. You fool. Open your eyes and look. Our daughter is dead. She was only 5. When she was dying, she wanted to see you one last time, but you were still with Jake. Clara, tell me, what did Mia ever do wrong? She was only 5. What did she do wrong for you to treat her like this? I couldn't stop myself from grabbing Clara's neck, demanding answers, but the other funeral attendees pulled me away. This is impossible. Clara picked up the fallen death certificate, her body trembling. Clara's eyes were wide with disbelief, but when she focused on our daughter's photo on the death certificate, her emotions instantly shattered. Impossible, Noah. Tell me, didn't the media say? Didn't they say Mia was recovering in the hospital? Why would Mia die? Clara sobbed uncontrollably. I laughed coldly, my tone dripping with sarcasm. Clara, the media also called you the greatest teacher, selfless, willing to endanger your own daughter to save an ordinary student. But Clara, search your conscience. Is that really how it was? Clara, on what grounds? Mia was our daughter. Before you made that decision, did you ever ask our 5-year-old daughter if she was scared? Did you ask me, her father, if I agreed? You wanted to save Jake so badly. Why didn't you go yourself? Mia was so small. You used her to shield Jake just because she was your daughter. That's not how it was. I thought Mia would be okay. The police were already there. I just thought Jake has been frail since he was little. He can't handle being frightened. That's why I suggested exchanging hostages to the killer. Clara knelt before Mia's gravestone. Suddenly, rain began to fall from the sky, as if they were Mia's tears. I felt only pity and irony. Clara, you knew that man was a murderer. How could you gamble with your own daughter's life? Jake's life matters, but Mia's doesn't. If things hadn't gone wrong, that day should have been Mia's 5th birthday. But now she's just ashes sleeping here. I'm sorry, Mia. Mommy's sorry. If Mommy knew this would happen, I would have come to the hospital sooner to see you. Clara's face was streaked with tears. She tremblingly caressed Mia's name on the gravestone. Mia, don't play jokes on Mommy. Mia, Mommy was wrong. Mommy's not human. If I had known you would die, Mommy would rather have died herself. Seeing Clara acting so desperately, grief-stricken before Mia's grave now, I just found it laughable. Our daughter was already dead. What use were her words now? All right, Clara. Mia is already gone. You don't need to put on this act anymore. Let's get divorced. Hearing this, Clara suddenly scrambled on her knees towards me, clutching my legs, her eyes filled with tears. No. Don't, Noah. I don't want a divorce. Noah, I know I was wrong. I raised my hand wanting to slap Clara, But remembering we were at Mia's grave, I held back. My eyes were red-rimmed. Don't say any more. If I had known you would brazenly cause Mia's death, I would have divorced you long ago. Then maybe Mia wouldn't have died. I took the colorful woven bracelet from my pocket and handed it to Clara. This must have been in Mia's pocket before the incident. Even as she was dying, she was thinking about giving it to you. But before she died, she couldn't even see her own mother. She could only entrust it to me, her father, to give to you, Clara. You must be very happy now, right? Finally completely rid of Mia. You never liked her since she was little anyway. Clara took the bracelet with trembling hands. The little bell on it chimed crisply. She released my legs, clutched the bracelet tightly, and suddenly burst into loud wails. But things had already reached this point. Her regret was nothing more than crocodile tears to me. Clara refused to divorce, so I filed a lawsuit against her. After Mia's death, I was utterly disgusted with Clara. Once the news of Mia's death spread, the media began lavishly praising Clara's greatness as a teacher. I found it laughable. They focused on Clara's greatness as a teacher, but forgot that my daughter was 5 years old with her own rights as a citizen. Just because her mother was a teacher, did she have to be pushed towards death when danger arose? I had no intention of letting Clara and Ryan off the hook. That despicable pair had to pay the price for my daughter's death. After filing for divorce, I smashed the piano and threw all of Clara's belongings out. With nowhere else to go, Clara simply moved in with Ryan and Jake. Ryan seized the opportunity to leak the news to the media that I was divorcing Clara because of our daughter's death. Consequently, social media platforms were flooded with voices condemning my lack of understanding. Isn't this Noah Guy a company CEO? How can he be so insensitive? Ms. Clara is so great, yet he wants to divorce her. Exactly. Ms. Clara is already suffering from losing her daughter. As her husband, instead of comforting her, he's kicking her while she's down. Can't he understand her situation? And he's demanding she leave with nothing. He's not a real man. The comments criticizing me quickly reached over 999, but there were also voices of reason. I don't think Noah is wrong. His own wife caused their daughter's death. Even if she's a teacher, that's impossible to accept. Yeah, think about it. Those of you who are parents, would you be willing to sacrifice your own child for someone else's? Unfortunately, such clear-headed comments quickly attracted Clara's mindless defenders and gradually disappeared amidst the outcry. In the afternoon, while I was handling business at my company, Ryan and Jake suddenly showed up, bringing many reporters with them. Seeing me, Ryan immediately bent his knees and knelt before me. I'm sorry, Mr. Bennett. I know it's all our fault. Today I brought my son here to apologize to you. Please blame anything on me and my son. Don't blame Ms. Clara. Ryan nudged Jake, who immediately spoke up. I'm sorry, Uncle. Mia died saving me. I apologize. Please don't blame Ms. Clara. I couldn't help but sneer. Ryan, I didn't expect you to still be so hypocritical. Even now, you want me to forgive Clara? Fine. Then let your son die and bring my daughter back. A reporter interjected disapprovingly. Mr. Bennett, that's not right. Jake is just a kindergartner. He's innocent. I scoffed. And wasn't she innocent? Since you speak up for them like this, I hope if your child is ever taken hostage, their teacher pushes them out as an exchange, so you too can taste the greatness people praise. My words instantly darkened the reporter's face, and they fell silent. I had security escort them all out. Seeing my insistence on divorce, Clara started posting long apologies on her social media, reminiscing about the details of our relationship. But she didn't know I was completely repulsed by her. Just thinking about how I could have lost my mind and fallen for a woman like her sometimes made me feel sick. Throughout our marriage, she treated Ryan's house like her home and our home like a hotel. If Ryan's son Jake had a fever, she'd fret like crazy. If Mia had a fever, getting her to pour a glass of warm water was considered good. I also came from a divorced family. All these years, if it weren't for wanting to give my daughter a stable home, I would have divorced this fickle woman long ago. I never expected my indecisiveness would lead to my daughter's death. I scrolled through Clara's long post, seeing her fans telling Teacher Clara not to be so desperate. Then I posted my own article online titled 6 Years of Unrequited Obsession. In it, I detailed Clara's past with Ryan, including intimate photos from their college days. I even included a recent video I'd taken of Clara and Ryan kissing by a window at night. Along with it, I attached a halting audio recording from my 5-year-old daughter. The recording toy was something Mia had pestered me to buy her during the new year. She called it her secret-keeping bunny, saying she would tell it all her secrets. I never thought it would become the key evidence that brought down Clara and Ryan. Today is April. It's so dark outside. Daddy's not home. There's really loud thunder. Mommy said Jake is scared, so she ran over to Jake's house to stay with him. Little bunny, why do you think Mommy doesn't like Mia? Is it because Mia isn't as well-behaved as Jake? Mommy doesn't remember. I'm really scared of thunder too. Today is Sunday in May. Mr. Sun came out today, but I'm not happy at all. Because today Jake snatched the hair clip Mommy gave me, and he hit me. But Mommy just said I was being petty. Today is Friday, little bunny. Mia is so happy. Today is my 5th birthday. Daddy and Mommy are both going to celebrate with me. They're going to buy me a yummy mermaid cake and a frozen princess doll too. Oh, little bunny, I'll tell you a secret, but you can't tell anyone, okay? I made a really pretty bracelet, and I plan to give it to Mommy for her birthday. My good friend Chloe said she made a bracelet like that for her mom, and her mom really liked her afterward and called her treasure. Little bunny, I want to be Mommy's treasure too. Listening to my daughter's innocent voice from the toy rabbit, my heart twisted as if pierced by a knife. I posted the audio online. My young daughter craved her mother's love so desperately, yet I, her father, had never taught her that not all mothers are the same. The recording instantly caused an uproar among the public. Those fans who had supported Clara as this selfless teacher, upon learning she had sacrificed her own daughter for her precious son, immediately turned on her with a torrent of curses. The internet is a double-edged sword. It could lift Clara to the heavens, and it could also trample her into the mud. To avoid being affected, the kindergarten quickly issued a statement firing Clara. Clara and Ryan instantly became social pariahs. What surprised me was that even at this stage, Ryan's feelings for Clara seemed to deepen. When Clara came to see me then, she still had flecks of rotten egg on her, reeking of a foul smell. Noah, I know I was wrong. Can you forgive me? Clara looked at me, her eyes red-rimmed. I promise I'll never see Ryan and Jake again, okay? I'd heard this promise countless times before, but this time I was thoroughly tired of it. Clara, you still don't understand. The person you wronged isn't me, it's Mia. Do you like that bracelet? After seeing it, maybe you'll like Mia a little more. Maybe you'll remember when you pushed her out as a hostage. She was your 5-year-old daughter. Clara, your own values are fundamentally warped. You don't deserve to be a teacher, and you don't deserve to be a mother. I questioned Clara step by step. Clara clutched her head. No, Noah, don't say anymore. I really know I was wrong. I regret it so much. I pushed Clara out the door. Clara, your regret won't bring my daughter back. With that, I coldly shut the door. Clara's painful cries came from outside, but my heart only grew colder. What she was suffering now was nothing compared to the pain Mia endured before her death. I went into the study and picked up a photo of Mia taken when she was 3, hugging a dog. Back then, Mia was chubby like a little dumpling, chasing the dog, saying she wanted a pony ride. I suddenly remembered how Mia had constantly asked me to take her to ride the carousel at an amusement park. My heart ached as if cut by a knife. If only I had known what would happen to Mia. I should have taken time off work sooner to take her to the park. The next morning, I woke up to a text message from an unknown number. I'm sorry, Noah. Ryan and I want to get married. I've already lost everything. I can't lose them too. Lying in bed, I picked up Mia's photo, my eyes red. I raised my hand and stroked Mia's smiling face. Mia, she doesn't deserve to be your mother. Don't like her anymore. Clara and Ryan got married amidst a storm of public condemnation, seemingly finding solace in shared misery. Clara, believing her years of devotion had finally earned Ryan's love, started hiding at home to avoid people's judgmental looks. She spent her days serving Ryan and Jake, doing chores, completely reduced to the kind of housewife she once looked down upon. Her hands, once meticulously cared for from playing the piano, gradually became red and rough from endless housework. Having lost everything, Clara clung to Ryan as her only pillar of support. Unfortunately, she had chosen the wrong person. I had hired someone to investigate Ryan. Although he appeared refined and gentlemanly, he had an extremely strong tendency towards domestic violence. He had severely beaten Jake's mother even when she was newly pregnant. After Jake was born, Ryan stopped hiding his true nature and subjected her to even more vicious beatings. Jake's mother hadn't died of illness. She had run away because she couldn't stand the abuse. Ryan had married Clara solely to get his hands on the property her parents had left her. The irony was that Clara had fallen into Ryan's trap without realizing it, still believing this abusive man was her redemption. Ryan was already a compulsive gambler. With some subtle guidance from people I hired, he quickly became addicted to gambling in underground dens. He would come home and demand money from Clara. If she refused, he would violently beat her, knowing that now, besides relying on him, nobody else would want her. When Clara was covered in bruises, Jake, the boy she had genuinely doted on, would either watch indifferently or even cheer his father on. Seeing the photos and hearing the reports from the private investigator about Clara's recent life, my heart filled with sarcasm. Was this the hell Clara had rushed towards even at the cost of her own daughter's life? At the killer's trial, Clara was also present. Her face was bruised and swollen as she sat in the spectator seats. Seeing her again, I still felt a faint hatred. I noticed she was wearing the bracelet Mia had made for her before she died. A child's love for their mother is always the most selfless, but Clara had betrayed her daughter's love. Halfway through the trial, Clara became emotionally agitated and suddenly stood up, pointing at the serial killer and shouting, "You animal! Are you even human? My daughter was only 5. How could you bring yourself to harm her?" The killer sitting in the defendant's chair turned his sinister gaze towards Clara, his tone full of confusion. "I remember you, Teacher Clara. But aren't you the one who caused your daughter's death? Have you forgotten? I had the boy as a hostage. It was you who insisted on dragging your daughter over for the exchange. Actually, I didn't want to agree at first, but I heard your daughter crying nonstop, crying and calling you mommy. That's why I agreed to the hostage exchange. I was just curious if mothers like you really exist in this world, pushing their own daughter to die for someone else's son. No, that's not how it was. I didn't mean for my Mia to die. I don't know. I must have lost my mind back then." Clara's expression turned pained. "If I had known you would kill her, I would rather have died myself than let anything happen to my child." Hearing Clara's words, the killer laughed even more wildly. "Oh, really? Ha ha ha. That's hilarious. Well, Teacher Clara, do you know why I killed your daughter? I heard her constantly crying, asking you to save her, but you only cared about the other kid. So I decided I'd do a good deed. Since you, her own mother, didn't care about her, her future would definitely be miserable. Better if I killed her now. So, Teacher Clara, you were clearly the one who caused your daughter's death. How can you blame me?" The killer's tone sounded remarkably innocent. Hearing the killer say this, Clara's mind suddenly seemed to snap. She jumped up from the spectators section, waving her hands frantically. "No, you're lying. It wasn't me who killed Mia. I didn't kill my daughter. It wasn't me." In her breakdown, Clara ran out of the courtroom. Throughout this, I remained calm like a bystander because I knew that all these people would ultimately be punished for my daughter's death. Finally, the serial killer was sentenced to death. On the day of the execution, I took the sentencing document to Mia's grave and burned it for her. "Mia, don't be afraid. Daddy won't let any of the bad people who hurt you get away. Mia, if there's a next life, if I'm lucky enough to be your daddy again, Daddy will definitely take good care of you. Take you to the amusement park to ride the carousel." Just as I finished burning the paper, Clara arrived. Seeing her, my expression turned sour. "What are you doing here again, Clara? If you have even a shred of guilt, don't come here and disturb our daughter." Seeing my cold expression, Clara's face instantly turned deathly pale. Her eyes became vacant, and she started muttering almost to herself. "Noah, do you know these days I often dream of Mia? Her neck is bleeding so much, and she tells me, 'Mommy, it hurts so much.' But when I chase after her, wanting to hold her in my arms, her little body just suddenly disappears. I truly regret everything. I had the most well-behaved, obedient daughter, the best husband, the most perfect family, but I destroyed it all." I felt a surge of impatience. "Enough, Clara. Don't say any more. Mia always saw you as her pride. I always heard her telling other kids, 'My mommy is a teacher. She's super awesome.' But when danger came, when she was pushed towards the bad guy by the mother she adored most, how desperate must she have been? I'm sorry, Mia. I wasn't a good mother." Clara took out a broken bracelet. "This was the last memento you left for Mommy. But even this simple thing was destroyed by that father and son. Mommy is useless. I didn't protect you well. I can't hold on to anything. I curled my lips sarcastically. Clara, don't say that. At least you protected Jake very well, didn't you? Though when you were being beaten, wasn't he cheering his dad on? I spoke sarcastically, aiming every word to stab Clara's heart. I'm sorry, Clara said, then suddenly picked up a dagger and moved to cut her own throat. I reacted instantly, stopping her. What are you doing, Clara? Noah, don't stop me. I'm the one who deserves to die most. Clara's eyes were filled with a determination to die. Enough, Clara. You already caused Mia's death. Do you want her to have no peace even after she's gone? Mia thought of you even as she died. Do you want her to see her mother's horrifying death by slitting her throat after she's gone? My words seemed to make Clara calm down. The dagger fell from her hand onto the ground, and she collapsed, tears falling like rain. Suddenly, the sound of police sirens echoed around the cemetery. I felt puzzled. Clara, however, appeared remarkably calm, her eyes full of despair. I poisoned Ryan and Jake, the big beast and the little beast. Beating me was one thing, but they broke the bracelet Mia gave me. They deserved to die. Hearing this, my heart filled with mixed emotions. If only things hadn't come to this. If only Clara had realized sooner, stopped being obsessed with such a rotten person, maybe Mia wouldn't have died. The police approached Clara and put her in handcuffs. Before being led away, she asked the officers for a moment. She cut the cake she had brought and placed a slice before Mia's gravestone. Mia, Mommy let you down, but please believe Mommy loves you. You'll always be Mommy's treasure. After saying this, she stood up, handcuffed, escorted by the police. As she brushed past me near Mia's grave, her expression was calm. She quietly dropped a single phrase, I'm sorry. My face remained cold. I didn't respond. I watched until the police car drove away. Looking at the innocent smile on Mia's face on the gravestone, I finally felt a sense of complete closure. I turned, got in my car, and drove away, leaving the cemetery behind. Our paths finally diverging completely.